What is up, everybody? And thank you so much for clicking on another episode of the Stay Rad podcast. I'm your host, your girl, your friend. It's Nay. And welcome back, and thank you so much for choosing to listen to my podcast. There's so many other podcasts out there. There's so many other podcasts out there, and you chose to click on mine. Super dope. So as you guys already know, I got my handy dandy phone of notes, and I also today I was like, you know what, we're gonna be extra organized and extra thorough, and you're gonna write down your key points, okay? Because you guys will see later in the bloopers. Luna, I swear, if you take a shit right now, we're fighting. You guys will see later in the bloopers at the end of this episode, if you watch it on YouTube, I was a hot mess express yesterday, which is where I actually tried to film this episode yesterday, but all the forces of the universe is said no. So here we are today, hoping that it's a better one, not only for your sake, but my mental health. Anyways, I wrote down points so we can just get right to it. What I'm talking about today is going to be pretty much the magical opportunities that are hidden behind our endings, and also why I had to bury that bitch in my backyard and who I'm even talking about. I'm so excited for this episode because I was literally sitting on my couch this week kind of dang, I don't know why I didn't get hit with any inspiration this week. What the heck? I really wanted to make another podcast, but I also don't want to be forceful in anything that I speak about or literally just trying to talk about shit to talk about shit. I really want to make sure that I'm speaking from the heart always. It's intentional. And it's something that just sparks upon me, right? So was sitting on my couch and I kind of just got smacked with just inspiration of this topic, and I was like, let's fucking go. Okay, so diving right into it, my beautiful friends, let's talk about endings and what the heck that even means and where there's magic behind endings. So whenever we hear the word ending, or whenever we go through experiences where things come to an end, they're final, they're done, right? We kind of hold this energy that's dense. It's a little heavy. It's not typically pleasant, right? When we think about endings, they're not typically the most positive thing, at least in that moment, because our mind, our brain is wired to kind of see it as an end all be all, right? That's the light that we choose to see an ending in, under, whatever. This alpha thing going on here is fucking with motherfuckers.
You are so beautiful to me. Can't you?
But what really are endings? So let's take a look at all the different types of endings that occur in our lives. We can be talking about relationships, a relationship coming to an end, a marriage coming to an end, a best friend relationship coming to an end. Those are the worst ones. They hurt, they cut the deepest, those.
Baby, I know the first cut is the deepest.
I know I was not the only one who was about to break out in song, so I just had to add the clip because I knew you were gonna sing it in your head anyways. Let's get back to the whole point of this podcast. Okay. A life coming to an end, because shit happens like that, or maybe a job, a career coming to an end, an era coming to an end, things of that nature, right? Having an ending and feeling when we go through that ending, it's fuck, this is shit, this is frustrating, I'm upset, I'm sad, this is hurtful, this is disheartening, this is just really making me feel less than with endings. And we almost create this anxiety around endings and this fear around endings, and hold the word ending and the energy around ending as if if it ever happens to us, it's gonna be the worst thing of our lives, right? And I just want to pause on this conversation to kind of reflect where did that belief system come from, and why do we feel those feelings in that moment, and how could we look at this differently? So For me, see endings more as it's something that we all have to experience in some way. Everything that is born, everything that is created, like it will at some point come to an end. Now, does an end necessarily have to mean like permanent? I like to look at endings from a different light. So I like to look at endings as in, you know, the universe's way of redirecting you from the bullshit that's going around that you may not be aware of right now in your lifetime. So to me, endings are kind of like the universe trying to have a conversation with you, because clearly right now you don't have enough of the awareness to notice what's going on, to notice that you're in the same cycle, to notice that you're going through the same thing, to notice that this may be actually a blessing, an opportunity, a rebirth in some manner. But you have to have a level of awareness to be able to see that, because otherwise we repeat the same things. If we are not aware of what's going on, we will repeat the same things over and over and over again. And then it actually starts to become something that is really like imprinted in our bodies and in our minds. And it now becomes something that we almost manifest, right? And think about it, like think about when you have an animal and you're trying to teach it to sit or something. You're not just like, okay, sit, like great, good job. No, there needs to be some type of positive or negative reinforcement, right? Positive reinforcement, like having the animal sit when you say sit and stay, and then grabbing a treat and giving that animal that treat. That is positive reinforcement. So the animal's like, okay, cool, if I continue this behavior and this action, that will equal to, boom, a treat, right? It's kind of like the same thing with humans and ourselves, if you really think about it. So like if you constantly look at life under a scope or a light in which like bad shit is happening to me, oh snap, like my boyfriend or girlfriend or partner has left me, now I am nothing, now my world is done, I don't know who I am, or oh my gosh, I just got fired, I put everything into this, now what the heck am I going to do, this is all I know, you know what I'm saying? And the more we repeat that energy, the more we continue to manifest it around us. Because remember, human beings, at the end of the day, we are all energetic beings. Like, fuck this human costume we got on. Once you strip it all off, you are pure energy, you are pure light. So because of that, so is everything else around us. So we are always working and exchanging literally through energy. And who controls your energy and where your energy levels are at are you. No one else is responsible for that. So this is something I kind of touched on in my previous podcast episode, so we won't go too deep into it. But sometimes endings can be the universe's way of just shaking shit up for you and being like, hey bitch, like clearly whatever language I'm speaking right now like isn't being translated to you because you may not have the awareness or the energy right now to see the beauty that I am creating, to see the opportunities that I am creating, to see the magic that is actually going to come for this. But you gotta let go of what you thought was going to work out, right? Of what you planned. Gotta fucking let go of that. And you're over here like, oh my God, I'm just gonna go this way because I'm so in my feelings. Oh my God, what's gonna go on? Oh my God, what's gonna happen? Oh my gosh, like, I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh, I feel like shit. Oh my gosh, I'm just a terrible person. Oh my God, this is why this is the X, Y, and Z happens. And we just kind of like deeper and deeper and deeper. And this voice of the universe starts to kind of get like lower and lower and lower, and it becomes harder to hear because now the sounds from your own bullshit thoughts that they're not your thoughts. At some point, somebody gave you a piece of information that you recorded in your brain and in your body, and now you think that way, and you created a logic and a belief system off of that, but that is not fucking true. It's only true if you believe it to be true. But you also have the opportunity to not believe it and to create your own truths and to create your own belief systems. Fuck what anybody has to say, this is your life. But the more that you cave into those thoughts and those feelings of less than and of inadequacy, they only get louder. That sound will only increase, again, because we are energy. So think about this. If you are coming from a low, dense energy, what you put out is always coming back in, whether you guys believe it or not. And this is kind of like another, I'm going to make a separate podcast about manifestation, because I truly feel like the world and social media just has it so ass backwards. Excuse me, but you cannot manifest, you cannot create a life for you of rich, pure, positive greatness, freedom, if you are vibing from a low bitch vibe. I'm talking like hella low vibes. You are so down on yourself, you're so negative, the way that you look at life is very black or white, and it's just like you are a difficult, angry, unsatisfied person in this world. You cannot manifest anything from that level. Do you know what you're gonna manifest from that energy? You know what you're gonna manifest? You're gonna manifest more fucking problems. You're gonna manifest more stress. You're gonna manifest the same fucking cycle and situation that you continue to put yourself in, thinking that you are the victim and that life is always happening to you, and that why me, right? You will always continue to sing the same song unless you change the fucking track. Actually, fuck changing the track. Fucking switch to a different music listener. Like, you've been listening to Apple Music for way too long, girl. It's time to get on the Spotify, okay? $12.99 a month. However, what I'm trying to say is, like, if you're vibing from a low place and you want more, right? And the things that you want, the energy that you want is up here, right? That lifestyle that you want is up here, but you keep magnetizing and manifesting from here, whether you realize it or not, because once again, we are energy. Doesn't fucking matter what the words are, it's the energy and the intentions behind the words. You will never raise up. You have to raise your energy first, and you have to be so fucking good and comfortable in who you truly fucking are, where you are in life, what you have. You have to be so good right there, and that is when you can truly magnetize and manifest the things that you want, because now you're on the same fucking frequency. You're on the same fucking vibe, right? So in order to be able to have that awareness, to see and learn and hear what the universe whispers to you, because it's never gonna be screaming, it's whispers, and you need to be quiet enough up here to be able to channel that through, okay? Otherwise, the shit you hear, the feelings, the thoughts, that's all from manifesting, from coming from that low, dense energy. And that is all you will continue to do unless you fucking create the awareness, expand it, and say, I'm gonna do shit differently this time. Because that's what I deserve. Also because that's what the fucking planet needs. We don't need any more dense energy. There's already so fucking much around, okay? So do your part and raise your energy up so you can not only manifest what you truly want and tap into who you really are, but so you can listen to the guidance from the universe. You can listen to the guidance from your own soul, and also you can raise the vibration of the fucking planet so we can all tap into the best versions of ourselves. Endings are truly the universe's way of shaking you up and being like, hey bitch, I know this shit really fucking sucks right now. I know you're going through it. I know this may feel like a sad scenario in this moment, but you gotta snap the fuck out of it. You gotta keep that vibe high, and you gotta focus, because within this mess there is beauty, and I need you to start seeing it. And only you can see it. Nobody else can create beauty for you but you yourself, through your own perspective and how you see life. So that's how I like to look at chaos. That's how I like to look at endings. That's how I like to look at, you know, any negative situation. I look at it as like, you know what, this is a redirection. The universe is shaping my life, is mixing shit back up, because somehow my ass came off my high energetic mountain, bloop, downgraded myself, and got fucking distracted from who the fuck I'm supposed to be in this world, what I'm supposed to do, and that's always leading with love first. So the universe was like, you know what, bitch, okay, cool, we're gonna tsunami up in here, mentally, energetically, and I'm gonna have to shake some shit up for you to start realizing, oh fuck, yes, this is what it is. And there's always going to be a choice within that. And this isn't the universe testing you. The universe is never testing you, my friends. Are you fucking kidding me? This bitch got hella fucking people to tap into. The universe is not testing you. There's no time for that. It's you testing yourself. It's you having to create, because every time this happens, it's an opportunity to expand your awareness if you are able to realize that. That's like the major thing. It's if you are capable of realizing what's going on in that moment. And sometimes it's really like for you to be like, yo, okay, life altering change. I'm not even gonna think about it. I'm gonna just breathe and I'm just gonna trust that I am always exactly where I need to be in that moment. And things are always working out for me. Sometimes the point of all that is really to notice that opportunity of choices that you have. And again, the only person creating that choice is truly us human beings. We are the only ones that are creating that kind of like two-way yes or no, this or that lifestyle, reality, perspective. So what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose to continue living the same pattern? Are you going to choose to continue, diving into those feelings, those emotions, self-pitying yourself, feeling bad for yourself, and then self-destructing in some way? Are you going to continue to add fuel to the dense negative energy and manifest that even more into your reality? Or are you going to have the choice that hopefully one day starts to become the only option, and we can step away from having this like two vision, separate way of thinking pattern, right? The yes or no, the right or wrong. We kind of want to get away from that and hopefully step into just the one way of living, because it's always going to be for us positive, uplifting, light, love, right? We're hoping to step away from the division and the options, but it takes time and awareness to get there. But the point is to hopefully acknowledge like, okay, cool, maybe if I go left, if I choose to see this in a different light, that's typically where the opportunity lies. That's typically where the magic is. But you have to have your eyes open, your heart open, and your mind clear to be able to see and step into that. And usually, I feel like most of us do, but it always happens more like down the line. And we go through this kind of like process of just feeling like fucking shit, feeling like we got our heart ripped open, feeling like inadequate, less than, right? I can go on. And then it's kind of like we get over it and we're like, oh, you know what? I finally realized like, yeah, like I had to go through that really terrible fucking breakup 45 different times because like now I realize like I'm so much better, and I just was like, he was so bad for me. Like we've all been through this to some extent, right? We fail to see our own uniqueness, and we fail to see our own power and beauty, and we fail to see our own opportunities within the shit that fucking happens to us, because we have been conditioned, and we have also conditioned ourselves to believe that when bad shit happens, it can only get worse, and we're supposed to feel worse about it, and we're supposed to live in fear, and we're supposed to have anxiety, we're supposed to be depressed, we're supposed to go through the motion of emotions. No, the fuck you're not, because remember, all that shit fucking does at the end of the fucking day, my guy, is it downgrades you off your fucking mountain, my friends. How can you lead life? How can you inspire others? How can you make a fucking difference in this world if you have to downgrade yourself off your high vibe mountain and go through the motions because that's what somebody said one day that we have to do, right? No, that's not fulfilling, that is not productive, and that also serves nobody but the dense energy. And at the end of the day, when you're low vibing, you can't help shit, right? Someone with a low vibe, someone who has a perspective of being a victim, they cannot help anybody. They need to help themselves first. Do not help, do not manifest, do not advise from a low vibe. Work on yourself first. That is most important. I'm going to dive into a personal story to kind of just like provide some insight to you guys on my endings and how I view my endings. And hopefully by providing this story, it kind of like clicks at the end of this. So if you see me kind of keep doing like this, it's because I'm making sure that my freaking camera stays recording. Because yesterday I did like a 90-minute podcast, you guys. It only recorded 17 minutes and I was like, no. But jumping into my personal story here. So some of you who are my friends on here that listen, I hate saying listeners or followers. I think that's so cringe. I'm like, ew. You guys are my friends. You are my internet friends. You're my podcast friends. You're my audio friends. You are my real life friends that I hang out with that listen to this. But some of you already know this about me, so I'm just gonna go through this. But if you don't know, I am a certified personal trainer, behavior change specialist, and also a nutrition coach, and giving you a little like insight to kind of how all this started for me. So fitness has been a part of my life literally since I was born, because I was an athlete growing up for a majority of my life up until college for the most part. And I was always an overweight athlete, though. I was not skinny, whatever that means by any means. Like a girl like came out the womb a solid like 130 with the thighs though, thick thighs. Okay, do you see the randomness? Anyways, it's my superpower. But yeah, so I was always kind of like just a heavier athlete. Even though I was in shape, I just did not look like it, right? I did not value fitness, and I did not value nutrition in the same way that I do now. So once I got into, I would say, high school, that's kind of when I started dealing with, and again, I'm only telling you the story to give you information that is relevant to this conversation. This is not me trying to relate to anybody. This is not me trying to make you feel bad or anything, because again, that would be me coming off my fucking mountain and relating and low vibing with those. That's not my intention. My intention is just to provide you some insight on my life so this story makes a little bit more sense at the end. So anyways, I was always an overweight athlete, and I truly hated my body. I hated just my overall self. I hated who I was. Like, I literally had so much self-hate. It was crazy. And again, no one, like, we aren't born that way. That comes from life, the things we're told, the things we experience, and how we kind of, our brain adds it all up, trying to make sense of every situation. That's literally its job. So at that time, I was currently living a reality in which I fucking could not stand myself. And this was like from a very, very young age. And I also struggled with an eating disorder that I didn't even really know that I suffered with until I became a nutrition coach. And I was like, oh, yup, okay then. Well, I'm I really would starve myself when I was younger. I'm talking like middle school, you guys. I would just like not eat. I would like steal my mom's Spanx, and I just like really hated my body. Anyways, so struggling with that, struggling with body image, struggling with like just trying to figure out who I am in this world, struggling with just like honestly like being a kid, my main focus was just trying to keep myself alive. Like, maybe this will be another podcast episode, but for now, your girl was like high strung anxiety ever since I came out the womb. Then one day I just got home and I opened the door to I went upstairs, opened the door to my room, and I had a mirror right next to my door. So I would like see myself all the time. And that's crazy too, because one thing I really hated was I would avoid mirrors when I was younger, and I would avoid pictures because I just truly hated seeing myself. And I was like, well, if I don't see myself, I won't feel bad about myself for the rest of the day. Like, if I would see myself in a mirror, or I'd see myself in a picture at school or something, I literally would then not eat. I would feel so terrible about myself. I would just like starve and literally not eat. Crazy. Anyways, so yeah, I looked in that mirror and I was just like, girl, you gotta change, yo. Like, some shit has to fucking change right now, because like, you can't do this shit forever. And at the time, I think my parents were also trying to get back into the gym and take care of themselves. So I took full advantage and I went to the gym with my dad, and I was in that bitch like every fucking day. The second that I turned 16 and I got a job, believe that my ass got myself a gym membership, and I was like, all right, yeah, we are working out every single day. And I was in that bitch 7 days a week, sometimes twice a fucking day. The gym became the thing that I loved, because it was a way that I could express myself and release these endorphins and release these like this anxiety and just emotions in my body that I was having from such a young age for such a long time. And it also then became a way that I can also finally eat more food and feel good about eating more food. I used to go to the gym when I was younger. I would hop on the elliptical, and this is when I had like no idea what the fuck I was doing, guys. I would hop on the elliptical and I would like watch the trainers train everybody, and I would just like pay attention, and I would be like, okay, cool, yeah, all right, nice. When I get home, I'm gonna like type in what I could remember, like dumbbell one arm pull thing, and I would just like type all that up and like just do my own research, because I was uneducated and I refused to be that person that goes into the gym and didn't know what the fuck they're doing or would do something wrong. Okay, so I always did my research. I watched my YouTube videos. I would watch all the trainers do all the different machines, and I'd be like, bet I'm gonna do that machine tomorrow and I'm gonna kill it, right? And that's how I started to build my confidence in the gym. Whenever my dad went to the weight side, I would go with him and be like, yo, you take me with you, show me how to do these things. What did your trainer teach you? I was in it. I wanted to know. I wanted to be strong physically and mentally. So that was high school. And then once I left I went to college at Temple University. So once I left to Philadelphia, that's really when my like training kind of career really inspired in my head, really kind of took off in a sense. And that's when I was like starting to question myself. I was like, is fitness maybe the route I should take? Because I really love it. I'm in the gym all the time. I lost all this weight. Like, I think I'd be a perfect person to do this, right? So I thought. But yeah, so what I would do is, I wasn't even certified, you guys, but what I would do is I would take my friends to the gym in between classes, in between exams, because I was a full-time student, 18 plus credits. I also worked a full-time job throughout college where I had to manage a whole salon in Center City, Philadelphia that was fucking popping at the time. As well as worked at a whole kickboxing studio on the weekends, as well as doing these little like take my friends to the gym for like literally $20, guys. I would train my friends for $20. I would whoop their ass, but I would train them for $20. Like, your girl was a hustler, let me tell you. And yeah, I just had so much fun with it. And I was like, yo, this is amazing. And my friends were seeing results and they loved working out with me. It was like such a vibe. It was so fun, right? So then I had to, unfortunately, leave college for mental health reasons that got pretty freaking serious. It was so unfortunate because it was my last, not even my last year, because I pretty much went to school for like 4.5 years. And I had my last semester of my senior year, where on top of it, y'all, I did my college in a way where it's like I made sure that I did all my difficult classes in the first 3 years so I could be chill in my senior year, especially with just how much I worked. Yeah, so I had a semester left, and I had to put myself first, and I had to go home, unfortunately. So when I went home, I pretty much took care of myself, and that's when I started to apply for jobs, because I was like, okay, I need to come up with a game plan. I got to figure out my life. I can't just sit at home. So I applied to a job, and I got the position called a membership advisor, and this was like my first legit actual fitness job. I was not a coach yet. I was not certified, but I was like super excited because I've heard of Orange Theory in Philadelphia. They had so many by me, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty badass gym for the Valley to get? What? No way, I don't believe it. And it was, Orange Theory was opening up at the time. This was like damn near almost 4 years ago, you guys. And I was a membership advisor, so I worked in the pre-sales before they opened, and I remember that the owners at the time, they came in while I was working, and we were just having a conversation about, you know, like the studio opening up and the coach conversation. And I was like, yo, what's it take to be a coach? And they're like, oh, you know, you gotta get certified, you have to have this, that, then you gotta go through like a whole like week coach audition. It was a lot, y'all. It was a lot. However, I was determined, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, bet. Like, how much do coaches make? When I found out how much coaches made compared to my ass getting paid barely like $10 an hour, I was like, what? I need to be a coach. And so my boss is sitting next to me at the time. We're having a conversation, and I'm over here like, yeah, so y'all, are you guys planning on having a head coach? Because I would love to take that position. I would love to work for it. Like, what does it entail? He goes into this conversation of like, yeah, we don't really do head coaches anymore because like we had one dude at our old studio, like we gave them a couple chances to be a head coach, and you know, people were just fucking up left to right, and it was just no, to some extent, right? And then he also was like, yeah, and we've never really had like a female head coach, it's always been guys. And so I'm looking at this man and I'm just like, I look him in his eyes and I'm like, I'm going to be your female head coach of this studio. And he was like, yeah, nah, whatever, like you're a membership advisor, like do you even have your cert, like what do you, we'll see, like, you know what I mean, kind of like brushing it off. And I was like, all right. And the GM at the time was like, yeah, do you have your NASA or do you have like a cert? We can talk about it. And I'm over here. Meanwhile, guys, like this studio is going to open in like fucking 2 weeks. Okay. And well, not even, maybe like 3-4 weeks. And the coach audition was happening in 2 weeks. So I had a very small timeline to make this happen, because I fucking refused not to start this position as a coach, because I knew what I had in me and I knew that that was something I needed to do. So I was like, yeah, girl, you know, I have it. I just got to take the test. And she's like, okay, cool, then take it and let's talk. And I was like, all right, yeah. Guys, I went home that day so fucking fast. I ordered NASM online self-study guide, okay? I don't know how the fuck I did it to this day. And I gave myself 2 fucking weeks because that's all I fucking had. And I studied day to fucking night, 24-7, every single fucking day until I knew that fucking shit like the back of my fucking hand, okay? And then I took the test in 2 weeks. I fucking passed because I'm a G, okay? And the next day, I walk in like, yeah, so I passed my NASM and I'm ready to audition as a coach. I still got some shade when I walked in, like, whoa, you still have to pass the audition, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? People always gonna hate on you. But I was like, yeah, whatever. And I passed my audition, and I actually opened the first, like, legit class for that studio at that time, which is really fucking dope. But yeah, so after that, I really just made a name for myself in where I live, in the town that I lived, and I was just always trying to find a way to be myself through everything that I do, because I was like, okay, this is fun as a coach, but like there's not really any like individuality, and there's not really any like thing that I can do to make me different so much. Because when you're an OTF coach, you are literally given a template and you are literally reading off that template and you are literally demoing what people already see on a TV, okay? With all due respect, there's nothing freaking special about it. You do not create the workouts, you do not plan. There is no thinking going into it besides just showing up and copying and doing what you're told, dead ass. So I was like, nah, I gotta somehow make this spicy, make this fun, give the people a reason to keep coming back to me, right? Because at the end of the day, like, that's just how I am. And I created that environment for myself. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out, and you know, I had to grow. That position was no longer serving me with that studio in that moment, and I needed to level up and I needed to leave. So I did. And after that, literally like not even a month later, the whole pandemic thing happened. Y'all remember that? And the whole world was fucking shut down, especially the fitness world. Like no one was going to the fucking gym. And that was a big shift, and it was either like sink or fucking swim for the fitness community. Like you gonna shut your shit down, or you're gonna figure it out and you're gonna move on to online training in some world, to the virtual world of fitness, right? And that was the situation that I was in. I was like, fuck y'all, I just moved into my first big girl apartment, okay? That was closer to this studio that I thought I was going to work at for the rest of my life. I thought this was gonna be my everything, y'all. Like, I really thought like this was it for me. I was gonna build a name for me. I was gonna climb the highest ladder here in this corporate environment, and I was gonna fucking be the face of OTF. That's what I told myself. And then life happened and I had to quit, but yeah. And I was like, fuck, like you still got bills to pay, bitch. Like, and big bills now. So I had to figure it out. And like I said, it was sink or swim. And that is when I entered the world of virtual training, in which I had no fucking clue, you guys, what the hell I was doing, because remember, I got my fucking CPT in 2 weeks and jumped into being an OTF coach. I faked it till I made it. I had no previous training of one-on-one. I had no previous training of online. I have no previous training of group like coaching online. I had nothing. All I had was myself and my fucking like motivation and my discipline of knowing that like I gotta fucking make it because nobody else, there's no handouts, there's no one to help me. It's on me, right? And that's cool. It's not saying like, no, it's just that's my reality. So that was my fire, that was my drive, was like, you gotta make this shit for yourself, nobody else. And I will say, I had the most fun, but also the most stressful time transferring my stuff to virtual because again, I had no fucking clue. But I knew that people liked me and people liked being around me and people really liked working out with me. So I just used that to my advantage and I fucking did it. I did online training, I did one-on-one, I did nutrition coaching, I created my own program, I created so many programs. I came out with my own mini bands, like you name it. I had the time of my life in those 2 years and I really just gave it my all with fitness, nutrition, and training, invested in myself and just put myself in a position to give back and help others as much as I can through the education that I know, right? Fast forward now, I'm starting to realize now it's kind of where things get a little bit deep. So recently I've been kind of like falling out of love with training and nutrition. And I've been questioning this for a while, I'm not gonna lie, but I created this own self-belief system that I believe that like there is no plan B for me, that nutrition, training, fitness, like this lifestyle is the only lifestyle I have. I created a system in which I was like, there is nothing else for you. This is all you know. So this is what you have to be fucking great at because you went to college, but you didn't finish. You don't have a degree. You don't have family that can help you. You don't have a handout. You don't have another home to go to if you can't continue to live in this one. Like, you don't have a fucking plan B, bitch. So this is all you have. This is what you have to make work. And what I realized about that is I was putting so much unnecessary pressure on myself, y'all. Like, I was putting so much pressure that it started becoming something that I truly like, not hated, but anytime I would, and this is full transparency, I'm being super real with y'all, not for you to ever use this, against me or look at me in a different light. This is full fucking transparency, okay? Being real, raw, and open with you. But at one point, I was just like, oh, God, I don't want to fucking hop on a coach call, yo. Like, I really just don't want to be doing this shit anymore. I don't, with all due respect, like, I just don't care about your problems. I don't care. And the moment I got to that was the moment I started questioning me and questioning my purpose and questioning, like, what are you doing? What is the intention behind what you're doing? What is the energy behind what you're doing, and why are you doing it then? Because I know me, and once I start feeling that way, I am no longer in it with my whole heart, and it's just something I'm doing because I feel like I have to do it, because somewhere in this belief system I created, I convinced myself, right? I convinced myself that my value lies within personal training and nutrition, that there is nothing else special to me, that because I didn't graduate from a university with a neuroscience degree and go to med school and become a neurosurgeon, or even just go to college period for whatever and have a degree, that I need to work 10 times fucking harder than everybody in the room, because my value is worth a name on a piece of paper for an institute that I paid hundreds and thousands of dollars to go into. Like, that's what I based my value on. I based my value on also what I thought my worth is. I really got into fitness and nutrition, guys, not by, empowerment. Like, this is gonna be deep because I really had to think about this shit too. The way that I stepped into what I do was not coming first from a positive, enlightened, empowered light. It was coming from low vibe nay, like hurting nay, scared nay, anxious nay, weak nay, just dense energy nay. Like, that's where that was coming from. It was coming from insecure nay. That's the energy that I was holding, which is why I got into training and nutrition, because I was like, I don't want anybody else in this world to fucking hate themselves so much that they contemplate whether they want to be here. So let me at least try and be the person that, you know, helps people see a second chance, that helps people see like, oh, nutrition and training can probably help me too, right? That's the energy in which I carried into with my career. I didn't step into this with like that positive, bright light energy that was like, yo, I already love myself and feel so fucking good. I just want to continue to spread that to the world. Like, that's not how it started. So now when I reflect back on everything I've been through within my career and why I feel the way that I do, I realized that I've been manifesting it because of the energy that I once carried into it. You understand? Like, the intention behind it was not serving for the highest good. That intention was serving the low vibe tribe, which is okay to do that if that's what you want to do, but understand you can't do that from the top of a mountain. So in some way, at some point, you will have to downgrade yourself to be able to speak and translate the language of energy to the low vibe committee for them to hear it, right? And that's what I was doing. And no wonder I started feeling the way that I felt. And no wonder I was creating more anxiety for myself. And no wonder I was putting so much pressure on myself. It's because I lack to see value within the things that I can do. I lack to see value within myself, and I lack to see all the things and opportunities and all the different hats that Nay could wear. Like, we have one life. We really do. At least in this timeline and in this moment, you have one life as yourself. Why not, in this lifetime, y'all, like, be as many different people as you can be? And I mean that more of like, always staying true to yourself, but if you want to be a book writer, be a fucking book writer. If you want to go fucking make a movie one time, go make a fucking movie. If you want to go to school and learn something, go fucking go to school and learn something. You want to be a chef? Go be a chef. And knowing that, like, you can be whatever you want to be, and you can be as many things as you want to be, because there are different versions of you throughout this timeline that we experience. Because if there's not different versions of you, my friend, that means you're staying the fucking same. You haven't changed at all. You haven't leveled up. You haven't nothing. You are the exact fucking same, and that is a waste of fucking life. Okay? Real shit. You changing, you blossoming, shit happening, like you overcoming it, you maybe changing direction, switching gears, you maybe even entertaining the thought of, hey, do I want to fucking do this shit anymore? Like, that's amazing. Do it. Because we're often told to not do it, to play safe, to stick what makes you money, to put you in a box, right? Because it's fucking easier to label people. It's easier to make people feel like they're not enough. It's easier to control the narrative when you put everybody in a box, when you make everybody play safe, right? And that's not what life is about. It's like, you have one life. Be whoever the fuck you want to be, and be whatever the fuck you want to be. And don't place your value on anything but your heart, your love, and your intentions, because those are truly the only fucking things that matter in this world. It doesn't matter where you went to school. Who the fuck cares? It doesn't matter if you come from a wealthy or poor family. Like, literally, that means absolutely nothing, because energy is everything. Like, you can be born completely poor but have a high vibe, and now you're manifesting everything in your life. And now energy is a byproduct of you being fully authentic. I mean, money is a byproduct of you being fully authentic with yourself, right? It doesn't matter like how many certs you have. It doesn't matter like how long you've been a personal trainer. It, like, all that shit does not matter, yo. What matters is that you continue to show up every single day and be true to yourself. And that is truly something that I had to realize. And as I'm reflecting and I was realizing these self-beliefs that I created, and where I was placing my energy, and where things were coming from, and how these thoughts were manifesting, it really, and even making this podcast, it really goes all back to the belief system that I created from a very young age, and how I put all the pressure on myself that was like, you need to succeed. There is no option for failure. There is no room for failure for you. So within that, I created so much anxiety. And then when I did fail, which by the way, there's no such thing as failure. The only time you fail is when you physically give up trying. That is the only failure that we deal with as human beings, because every other type of failure is a learning lesson, is wisdom within that. And it's up to you to learn, to see that, to take from it, and to then apply it down the road. That's fucking life, right? There is no failures in this when you're trying. But yeah, it was very eye-opening to say the least with that. And with all this being said, I'm gonna reach out to my friends. I'm gonna reach out to those that really know me personally. I'm gonna reach out to my family. I'm gonna reach out to some clients. I'm also going to reach out to people that, you know, may not know me but have made some type of impact in my life, or people that I know I've influenced in a positive way, in some way, right? And I'm gonna reach out to people who just may not know me that much but are on social media and follow me and like my stuff. So I reached out to a group of those people. So thank you so much if you're listening or watching to this and you're one of those people. I truly, really value you, because I was very specific with who I choose for a reason. Because again, everything that I do is with energy first. So I asked them, I was like, hey guys, first I asked if it was okay to ask a question. And then I was like, hey friends, if there was any piece of advice that you could ask me, like, what would it be? What would you come to me for? Like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? What's the first thing that comes to your heart, right? And I just wanted to see what everybody had to say, because sometimes it's hard to see your magic superpowers that you truly have, because the way that you show up in the world right now, maybe with a different purpose, maybe with a different intention, like my own. I show up in this world focusing on fitness, with training, with nutrition, with health, right? So that may be the light that some see me. So it may be hard for me to be like, oh, that's why you really like me? Oh, that's why you gravitate towards me? Okay, cool. So I did this just to catch a vibe. And the answers are really dope. Some of the answers were like, I'd come to you for any fitness, health, or nutrition advice. And I was just like, that's why you a client, right? Just kidding. I'm sorry, but I had to, because some of y'all, I'm like, okay, next. Really still appreciate your answer. But then I also got some answers that were like, you know, fitness came to my mind first, but I also just like, I would come to you for anything. Like, you're so open, you're so honest, you're so real, you're so confident in yourself. And I would come to you for literally anything that I feel like I couldn't tell anybody else. I also got, you know, like, I like your energy. I like the way you show up in the world. I just like who you are. Like, you make me feel confident when I'm around you. You make my voice louder. You just make me feel good about the things that I do. And like, you just make my energy feel so good. So the common theme here, after I'm getting all these responses, which again, I'm so thankful for, because I literally, guys, when I was reading it, I was just like, I wanted to cry. I even might right now, but it's only because I was like, damn, like, I didn't even see myself. I didn't even know I made you feel that way. Like, that's wild. And that's amazing. And I'm so thankful that I could make you feel that way, even if it's just for a little bit. Like, knowing that I was responsible for that feeling is fucking amazing. But the common theme with all these answers was not what I do, y'all, like, and not anything I know, but it was more of how I do it, right? So I sat there and I was like, okay, for the people that are like, I would go to you for fitness and nutrition advice on anything. Some of them actually were clients. So I was like, okay, why though? I was sitting there, I was like, but why me? Why do people come to my classes? Why do people come to my boot camps? Why do people like want to see Coach Nay? Like why? And I thought, and I was like, it's my energy. It's how I am. It's my personality. It's how I show up. It's how I give back. It has nothing to fucking do with how I do that. The how is the tool, right? But the why, the reason, the intention is the energy, is who you are, is being fully, presently, authentically, unapologetically, beautifully you. 110 fucking percent. Regardless of what's around you and regardless of how anybody else feels, you never dim your light for anybody. You just tell those bitches to put stronger sunglasses on, right? And I was just like, you're not here to fucking influence the world on training. You're not here to fucking help people choose better meals. No, that's just a way in which you can reach out to people. But at the end of the day, I will say, even clients who have worked with me that have seen literally no fucking progress on the scale have still seen progress within themselves mentally and energetically just by being in my presence and just by being with me. And that, my friends, is a fucking superpower that no one else in this fucking world will ever be able to replicate or have, because that is unique to each and every single one of us. And when I was like, damn, bitch, like, yes, we figured it out in a way, but also like, you knew this whole entire time, right? But it was because I placed these systems of beliefs on me and I had so much fucking pressure. That voice, those voices, those feelings were talking way louder than the universe. So there was no way I was ever gonna fucking hear that shit, right? Until I got to an end of a cycle and was like, sink or swim, repeat or evolve. And I chose to fucking evolve this time. And it could be really scary, like letting go of something that you think is all you know. But within that comes magical opportunities to tap into a newer version of yourself. So after I reflected and after I heard everything that my beautiful friends had to say, and once I realized that the magic I have is in being myself, is in having a high vibe, is in being a good, energetic, and leading with love all the time, like that's the shit that changes people. And it doesn't fucking matter what I do in this world for money, because it's always the intention and the energy behind it. And as long as I lead with that, like I'm changing the fucking world. And I'm also changing the world by fully being myself and enjoying it, right? I'm not having to do something I don't want to do because of fear. And now it's just, again, energetically downgrading myself. So y'all, I'm sorry, but I had to like get a shovel out. I had to like hit Coach Shane in the back of her head, and I had to bury that bitch in the backyard, because it's time to evolve. It is time to step into a newer version of myself. The old version of myself had to die. She had to die. She had to be buried. Don't worry, we had a nice funeral for her, okay? R.I.P. to that. R.I.P. But it was time to grow, because I would be doing a disservice not only to myself, but to those around me and to the whole fucking planet and the universe if I continue to repeat a path in which I knew deep down, I knew like, this ain't it. Like, it's it for now because it's paying your bills, but this is not you. This is not what you want to do for the rest of your life. You are no longer finding like yourself through this. So something has to fucking change. So she's dead, she's gone, and I have stepped into a new evolved me. But I just choose to show up in this world as myself, and now I'm going to do that through things that I love, like this podcast. And the whole reason why I even started this fucking podcast was to reach as many people, as many voices, as many energies, as many souls as I possibly can, to help inspire, motivate, enlighten, and empower them to step into who they truly authentically are, and to honestly live their best fucking life. Because once again, once we're all high vibing, living our best life, we raise the fucking energy of the planet and we create more good, right? We create more fucking good in this world, and this world needs more fucking good. We don't need any more negative shit, and we don't also need to give energy to any negative shit. Okay, notice the cycle, get the fuck out, because it doesn't help anybody. It only downgrades your energy more. But yeah, guys, I had to rebrand myself. And when I say rebrand myself, it's not even really rebranding myself. It's finally stepping into who the fuck I want to be and show up in this world. And I'm doing it as literally just this, through this podcast, through my Instagram. I realized that my purpose, my passion, my job is to just help others feel so fucking good promote others, raise others up. Like, I don't give a fuck. There's no competition. How can there ever be competition when everybody's winning? Like, that's the low vibe, dense energy mindset, right? No, if we're all eating, we're all winning, we're all helping each other rise to the top, like the fuck? That's a great fucking world to be in. Rather than a world where it's like, oh my gosh, my competitors, oh my gosh, I have to do that. Like, that's no thanks. I don't ever want to be a part of that. So for me, my job is to hope that I enlighten you in some way through this message to start taking steps towards truly shedding the skin that was put on you from birth and conditioned, and to stepping into who you truly fucking are in this world and living your best life with that mental freedom and a pure, light, bright heart, okay? And hoping that because you leveled the fuck up, whoever follows you, whoever watches you, whoever's around you, whoever speaks to you, they start to feel that energy from you. And now you, my friend, are changing the fucking world, and you are empowering those in your reality and your world right now. And I just got chills because it's seriously such a fucking dope concept when you think about it. It just takes personal development and work. You gotta put the work in to not only save yourself, but to save the rest of this world. But yeah, that's my podcast, guys. Got a little deep. I'm happy I got to get through one whole episode without any shit happening. But that's it. I'm showing up as myself. So if you go to my Instagram, you'll probably notice that I deleted literally every single picture of me. Because we're just going through some rebranding. And I'm hoping this podcast, takes off, and this YouTube channel. And I just hope to inspire the world. And yeah, it would mean so much if you can subscribe, help me do that. Subscribe, listen, share, tag your friends, whatever the heck it is. The first shout out today is going to be from my beautiful friend who used to be a client, but now every client turns into a friend, which is so funny for me. But my beautiful friend Katelin, she is a teacher at, I'm not going to say where because privacy matters, but she's a teacher near me at a local school, and I wanted to give a shout out to her. I'm going to actually post she has her own podcast, so I highly recommend you guys listen to it. She talks about her perspective and her life through her eyes. She's being her authentic self. So I would highly recommend listening to it if it's something that aligns with you. I'll probably post it somewhere within this screen once I figure out the editing. And then I also just wanted to include a link in the bio. Her Amazon list for her school. She's looking for some donations. If anybody can help, click on the link. She has a little Amazon list here with things that she can use for the school year. It's really helpful. It's for the kids. So if you guys have the opportunity to give back in some way, you can check out that link and you can purchase anything your little heart desires, and you can help support a teacher and a school, and also just help raise the vibration of the planet. Thank you so freaking much for clicking on this episode. I hope that you were able to take some gems or something from it. Much love to you all. I truly, really appreciate you, and I will catch you on the next one. Make sure to watch the bloopers because they are to die for, literally. Okay, bye. This is take 85 of the day. Hopefully this will be the last one. And we are an AirPod down. I repeat, we are an AirPod down. Okay? Watching another this intro specifically about 45 times now. I'm hoping that this will be the last time. I'm a tad bit hangry. Oh god. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. So I'm overheating, but we're just gonna get through it, right? We're just gonna make it the best. We're gonna get what I gotta get out, and we're gonna keep this G-Wagon pushing. Luna's taking a shit right now.
Hit it.
Smile. Get your foot off the table. Okay. No. That was my fucking fridge. Where I know once I'm done filming and editing, I will laugh because I will force myself to. Oh, this candle's making me a little hot. So I gotta take the pants off. Don't worry. Still got pants on. However, we're a little bit more easy breezy, beautiful cover girl now, okay? This phone is dying on me. It is a Hot Mess Express, but I'm gonna roll with it because I feel like within a Hot Mess Express, there's always beauty and rawness and like realness. And I would choose the worst freaking chair. Like, why? I'm feeling good. Whew. Update, I just had a snack. Hey, everybody, I'm back. It is a rough fucking day today. Like, you gotta go to the bathroom now, Luna Marie. No. Everything I gotta go under the fucking table.
Nope.